All right, welcome back. We continue live right here. Bob Pompeani and Andrew Fillipponi with you at 412-575-2600. We want to get into the Penguins. A big win for them tonight, Andrew. They went on the road against Washington, took it to overtime. Yeah, the loser point goes to the Caps again, but the Penguins came away with that win in the battle of Ovechkin and Crosby. And, boy, some great deflections in this game. And Chris Letang and Evgeny Malkin both have come to life over the last couple of games. They still are prone to make a mistake here and there, but the talent level, when it's like this, is pretty good.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see because this might prove to be one of those Pyrrhic victories, Bob. The Zucker injury looks bad. No, obviously Sullivan's not going to give us a timetable after the game, but just to the naked eye, the way you see it here, he was screaming on the ice, needed help getting off, couldn't put any weight on it. It looks like it's long-term with him. Chris Letang didn't play the last 10 minutes of the game either. And even though Letang has been so up and down this year, he's still your number one defenseman, and to lose him would be costly. So, I'm going to reserve judgment before I give this game a grade because those two things are obviously a big deal, those injuries. The Penguins controlled the shot clock, Bob. What was it, 37-22?
They doubled them up after two, yeah. They were good.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they really dominated the game. I mean, it wasn't eye-popping to me like, oh, my God, the goalie for the Capitals had to make all these amazing saves to keep the game tight. But, they didn't really beat themselves. I'll say that. It wasn't like there were horrible gaffes and big penalties or big blown missed assignments and odd man rushes. And they do what they usually do in a close game. If it gets to the 3-on-3 or the shootout, they get the extra point.
They always do, especially against the Washington Capitals. They've owned them there. West Virginia won tonight in basketball, so did Penn State. West Virginia's really good. They're ranked 10th and going up, no doubt. Let's get to the phone calls because we have a lot. We also have a tweet here from Brian Boyle at KD Pomp at the Pony Express. He says they should take Kyle Trask from Florida or Mac Jones. Those two guys. Here we go down that road again, and we'll see. But I doubt it, those two. If they have a chance to move up or do something and somebody falls to them, not name those two guys, I might be interested. Let's go to Smitty.
But Bob, that goes against everything you just said.
No, I said you can do both.
But if you're trying to put a competitive team on the field, you need your first and second round picks to play on your offensive line.
But
you can't have a first-round pick quarterback wait behind Ben.
There's also a bunch of guys who are going to be cut from teams. We've already seen it, and there are going to be a ton of them who are going to be looking for work. They could be veterans that you signed to one-year contracts that fill the void at offensive line. And Lord knows over the years, we've seen the Steelers win championships with offensive lines that haven't been all number one picks, all second-round picks. So they have ways of doing it. I think it just depends on how it all falls to them. Anyway, let's go to Smitty in Crafton. Smitty, go ahead.
Hey, Smitty.
Hey, Bob, first and foremost, the standard is the standard. Big Ben is God. Tomlin got to go. Tony got to go. Bring back Ron Cook. Have a good night.
Wow.
Jeez. I mean,
that was awfully harsh.
That was awfully harsh. Pony, I love you on the show. I don't know.
Well, apparently the quarterback can do no wrong, and the coach, though, is the guy that needs to
if the standard
follow
is the
me
standard,
out the door.
The standard is
maybe Mike and I can catch the same plane out of Pittsburgh together, go on vacation somewhere.
Oh, my
Cabo.
goodness. Let's go out
that would be nice.
Cabo is nice, yes. Nancy is up next. What's up, Nancy? How are you?
Hi, Bob. How are you this evening?
Good, thanks.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that Ben's coming back. I was hoping he would be. That's good to hear. And I'm sad to hear that Mike Tomlin was not feeling real well. And
he's doing okay now, though.
my prayers to him.
Thank you. I'm sure if he's watching, he'll have. If not, we'll pass it along. Yep. Thanks, Nancy. Appreciate that. Mike in Oakland joins us next. Andrew, let's go to Mike. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. Hey, Andrew. Listen, I agree with you, Andrew, about this decision. I mean, talk about a Debbie Downer. Honestly, it's time for Big Ben to ride off into the sunset. I mean, really, he's won 3 playoff games in 10 years. It's not like he has like another 4 divisional championship. AFC championship games, another Super Bowl appearance or 2. I mean, we've pretty much done not a lot postseason-wise with Ben at the helm. He's obviously older. I don't like the way he throws the ball much anymore down the field, even though he had one good half in 6 weeks against the Colts, so people want to use that and claim that he's still okay. I don't like it, and I think Mason. I know I saw your tweet, Andrew, that you said that you're okay if they've given up on him, but I still think he could do it. I mean, I loved his deep ball when he played against Cleveland. He's mature now, more mature, and I think give him a year. Let's see what happens. And if worst case, we stink, we get a high draft pick.
But they're not going to do that now.
Future QB.
And I understand. And what I'll say about Mason Rudolph is that we have not seen a whole bunch of time. And that festers into your argument that maybe they owe it to themselves to see what he can do. What we've seen, though, is a lot of up and down. And that game in Cleveland was very good this year. Yeah. The game in Cleveland before that was not very good that year. And his play went down, it went up, it went everywhere. And I just get to the point where I think if they really believed, if I think they believed in Mason Rudolph, they would have made a different decision.
I agree. My worst case scenario or worst fear is that this gets dragged out over 2 years and that Ben Roethlisberger gets one last go-rah and then one last hurrah, one last go about things, and then Mason Rudolph is your quarterback in 2022. And I don't want to make this a 2-year process. I'd rather rip the Band-Aid now. I think it's very interesting to me. It's interesting to me that, like, a lot of Steelers fans seem to think that Ben has a lot in the tank. Well, do they feel the same way about Drew Brees? Because he only threw 3 interceptions in his playoff game, and he took the Saints deeper into the playoffs, and it just seems like most football people in this town seem to think that Brees is done, but Ben still has something left in the tank. I find that to be very interesting.
I think Brees is fine, and I was hoping he would come back because I think he still has enough left. Listen, Roethlisberger, have 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions this year? Is that the
33.
number? All right, 33 and 10. Generally speaking, those are pretty good numbers by a quarterback. And I'm curious what people were thinking 11 games in when everyone nationally was calling for him to be in the conversation of NFL MVP, which I knew wouldn't last because I thought that arm was going to be challenged at some point. It never really was, Andrew. I am of the belief that with a full year under his belt, a year removed from that surgery, that his arm could be better this coming season. And I think they must believe that too.
Well, if he had this surgery at 27 years old, I might agree with you. But he's 39. You know, there aren't many quarterbacks that at that point in their life, their arm, after surgery or no surgery, can still get it done. I mean, Brady is really an outlier in that regard. Look at where Dan Marino was at 39 years old, one of the greatest arms of all time. He was out of the National Football League. So, I don't know, Bob. I think that Brady has a lot of people brainwashed that people like Ben now are going to have great longevity.
We'll see. I just think that I think a lot of people, and I heard the naysayers from that point of view this past offseason where they were questioning his body shape, his arm.
Well, I wasn't one of those people.
No, a lot of people were.
I was not one of those people.
Saying
I thought the Steelers were going to win the
whether
division.
or not he can even get through an entire season. There were a lot of those guys out there too.
But he really did. I mean, he really didn't, though. I mean, he got through 16 games, but the Ben Roethlisberger in December, you would agree, was not the guy we saw in September and October,
and he made
right?
decision issues. There were a lot of bad throws. Absolutely, we're up against the break. We're talking too much. We'll do it. Come back right after this on Pittsburgh CW.